The making of the Nokia phone. For strategic reasons, Nokia does virtually all this work itself rather than farming it out to ensure control over the process and keep costs down. In the following slides, see how the workers at Nokia's plant in Salo, Finland make a phone from raw materials to finished goods. The making of the stockroom. Parts pour into Nokia factories by the hundreds of millions every day. The company sources virtually all its components from outside suppliers. Everything from memory chips and microprocessors to liquid crystal displays, keypads and plastic cases. On arrival at the loading dock, the parts are shuttled off on forklifts and cranes to gigantic storage areas, from which they are later fetched as needed for production. Preparing a production run. The first step in making a Nokia phone is to gather up all the needed parts. Most electronic components, from resistors and capacitors to highly integrated circuits, are delivered by suppliers on reels of tape protected in circular plastic cases. The foundation, a printed circuit board. At the heart of every Nokia phone is a slender strip of plastic covered with lattice work of basic circuits and settings for the installation of chips and other electronic components. Here, printed circuit boards enter the paste printing machine, which lays down a pattern layer of solder paste made from a tin copper-silver alloy. The paste is later melted in an oven to bind electronic components to the board. Providing the parts. Reels of components are loaded into spindles. From there, they feed into automated pick-and-place machines that grab individual parts of the tape and lay them precisely onto the printed circuit boards. Nokia uses mostly surface mount components that lie flat on the board. Laying down basics. Circuit boards travel down a belt from one pick-and-place machine to the next, and by the time they reach the end of the line, all the basic components have been installed. After the parts are in place, the boards go to an oven for 7 minutes, where the solder paste is melted and the parts become firmly attached. Testing and configuring. The first quality test takes place after the basic components have been installed. The boards are advanced automatically on tracks into the flash and alignment stage, where basic software is first installed into programmable components. Does it pass muster? A robotic arm lifts the board off the track and puts it into a bay. There, the chips on the board are configured with low-level settings, such as what power level the phone will operate on. Then, a series of electronic tests are administered to ensure that the circuit board is perfect, all the parts work, and that they have been correctly installed. Time for the delicate stuff. At this stage, the handwork begins. Here, a worker plugs digital camera modules from a reel and installs them with tweezers onto assembled, tested printed circuit boards. The expensive and fragile liquid crystal display screens are also added by hand. Putting it all together. A nearby worker performs another essential task by hand, sandwiching the completed printed circuit board between front and back structural frames, later adding the outside covers. Adding a personality. The last step in the production turns a generic phone into one customized to the exacting specifications on mobile phone users around the world. Each handset is put into a cradle where it is given a unique serial number known as its IMEI code. Then, depending on who the customer is, a unique batch of software code is pumped into the phone. Vodafone will specify one set of menus and features as well as a Vodafone logo on the opening screen, while Singular will require a different appearance and capabilities. Finally, the phone and installed software undergo a battery and diagnostic test. From this point forward, the IMEI code links each individual phone to its intended customer. Better than machine vision. It seems quaint after all the high-tech assembly and testing, but before every Nokia phone goes into a box, it's inspected one last time by an unmatched resource: the human eye. Only a tiny fraction of phones fail this final test. Then, before being packed, the phone is deionized to remove dust and electric charge from the surface. Ready for retail. Phones are packed into retail boxes by hand, with appropriate documentation and accessories, and then locked into a tracking system using a barcode reader. Packing and shipping. Batches of phones headed for the same destination are packed into boxes and stored on pallets. Each pallet contains hundreds of customized phones intended for specific mobile operators. Away they go. Pallets are loaded into tractor trailers on the loading dock, and trucks head out to the airport, the port,